Greetings and welcome to this week's Golf Betting Show. It's Steve Bamford here from Golf Betting System. I take it that you are well. We had a winner last week at the SBS Tournament of Champions. Yes, Justin Thomas delivered. It's been a long old time, put it that way. Quite a rare win for yours truly. 22-1. Justin Thomas. He looked really imperious, I have to say, last week. Matsuyama never quite got close enough, couldn't putt just well enough to get close to him. But a fantastic effort for Justin Thomas. This week we're back to two tournaments on the European Tour and the PGA Tour. The South African Open, featuring none other than Rory McIlroy, over at Glendower Golf Course on the High Veld in South Africa. And also we move to the Sony Open. They call it the Sony Open in Hawaii on the PGA Tour. I think there's about 21 or so of the 32 that played last week have gone across to Waialae Country Club. Top of the show. So, if you're new to the show, I forgot this last week. If you're new to the show, please press the subscribe button below the screen. Subscribers are always welcome. You'll never miss a show from that point on. We are on each and every week of the golfing calendar, right through to the DP World Tour Championship at the end of the European Tour this year. On top of that, love to highlight the fact that Golf Betting System, complete free golf entity, if you like, free statistics, loads of stats. We've got the predictor models. We'll mention the predictors later. Paul and I always come up with a predictor model that we publish, but you can come up with your own for both a betting purpose, but recently we've also launched DraftKings predictors. So fantastic. So if you're into your DraftKings, if you're watching in America, you love your DFS, you love your DraftKings, it's there for you. A totally free to use internet or online front end where you can come up with your own models, see where players rank, and find those nuggets that you need further down the salary chart to really get your team up to the top of the list. DraftKings, fantastic game. We're pushing it hard at Golf Betting System at the moment. On top of that, always highlight a good bookmaker. And this week, I don't know if you're aware, but Sky Bet, they built a lot of their customer base around this £10 no deposit offer back in 2012, 2013. They brought it back recently. And for the two events this week where you're seeing Rory McIlroy at 5-2, and you're also seeing Jordan Spieth at 13-2, with Hideki Matsuyama around about 8-1. That £10 no deposit offer is fantastic with Sky Bet. You can effectively cover off, one of the big names this week, completely free of charge. You register, they don't take any form of deposit. They give you £10 credit, free bet credit there and then. You can cover off Matsuyama, you can cover off Spieth, cover off McIlroy, you can cover off who you want with Sky Bet's own cash. So £10 no deposit offer. Come to golfbettingsystem.co.uk. Click through the links. You've got a £10 no deposit free bet just sitting there waiting for you. Okay, I'm going to start off with the South African Open. Paul Williams is back in the saddle this week. Worth mentioning, being played at Glendower Golf Course, which has hosted this South African Open in 2013, 2015 and 2016. 13 was won by Morten Madsen at 19 under. Andy Sullivan famously won this in 2015, 11 under. The course can have teeth. And Brandon Stone won it 14 under last year. He's a talented boy, isn't he, Brandon Stone? Supposedly the course has been a wash, so it's going to play soft, which does really stack up very nicely for Rory McIlroy. But of course with McIlroy playing with completely new drivers, fairway irons. He's also playing with new wedges, Vokey wedges, a new golf ball, Titleist, and a new putter. So make of that what you will. Almost feels to me, and I'm sure I'm wrong, that he's using this as a bit of an open test session, if you like. And I know it was a promise to Ernie Els that's brought him here. And to be fair to Rory, well played, supporting one of the kind of off-the-wall events on the European Tour. But of course, it's a South African Open. He's got some history here in the past. And one of the big, an Open Championship, whatever country it's in, always great to add to the CV. If you're looking for each way extended places, Paddy Power 6 places each way are 50 odds this week. The only bookmaker to go 6 places each way at the South African Open. £30 of free bets available via Golf betting system if you want to open an account. I could take you through Paul's full preview, but then you'd have nothing to read. Fast 12 on the Stimp Bent Grass greens. Now, whether that's still the case after all this rain, we'll yet to see. 7,600 yard par, 72, but played at altitude, so it's not overly long and testing. Kikuyu grass fairways. A lot of players do not like Kikuyu grass. I always look at it when it comes to Riviera Country Club, the Genesis Open this year at Riviera in February. South Africans always seem to go well because of the Kikuyu grass. Paul's gone through 4 players this week. One who I have absolutely no chance of pronouncing whatsoever, but I'll give it a go. Brandon Stone, I can do that one. 2 points each way, 15 to 1 with Betfair. Defending champion, won his last at European Tour outing at the Alfred Dunhill. Why wouldn't you back him? Loves the course. Shot 61 in practice here. A bit of a no-brainer punt, that one. Next up, a player, predominantly a putter, South African, but you have to watch him because when he starts to hit greens, that putting prowess really comes through, and his ball striking of late has been decent enough. He's a winner on the European Tour, prestigious in his own country. 5 of his 6 Sunshine Tour successes have been in South Africa. George Coetzee, point each way, 40 to 1. He's just been there or thereabouts, hasn't he, towards the latter end of last year. Since his injury, he's now starting to find form. Next up is Christian Bezundo. I can't say his name. Bezundo. Christian Bezundo. Here you go. Point each way, 55 to 1 with Betfred. I will ask Paul how to pronounce that moving forward. 55 to 1 with Betfred. A fantastic player of his own right. Young guy. Been finding a lot of form on the Sunshine Tour. He's a hot hand right now, so one to follow. And finally, another youngster, I can actually pronounce this name, who's talented, played really well in his last outing down in South Africa. They reckon that, forget about Thomas Peters, this guy has got even better raw materials. He's even more of a talent. Played brilliantly on the European Tour Challenge. Thomas Dietrich, a point each way, 70 to 1 with Stan James. So, Dietrich, Bezundo, oh, I don't know. George Coetzee and Brandon Stone. You don't come here to watch good pronunciation. You should know that. Those are 4 picks for the South African Open this week. If you're looking at the predictor model this week, all of these prices I'm quoting here are with Sky Bet, of course. A £10 no deposit offer available this week by Golf betting system. 10 is Dean Burmester, 66 to 1. 9, Richard Bland, 33s. 8 is Touch van der Walt, 150 to 1. 7, Jaco van Ziel, 33s. 6 is Brett Rumford, 100 to 1. Top 5, David Horsey, 40 to 1. 4, Thomas Aiken, 25 to 1. 3, Brandon Stone, 12 to 1. 2, Andy Sullivan, 14 to 1. And number 1 is Rory McIlroy, 5 to 2. So McIlroy, Sullivan and Stone. Paul's published South African Open predictor model. Of course, you know where to come if you want to put your own predictions together. Okay, Sony Open. Oh, where do we start with the Sony Open? It's one of those, I love the Sony Open, it has to be said. I don't know. Par 70, 7,000 yards, just over. And there's some strange winners on it. You know, Russell Henley won here. This was when the tournament started the year back in 2013, which was the last season it did that. So this was the first full field event. Came from nowhere. People at newweb.com tour were on him, but 100 to 1. He won that at last year as well. Fabian Gomez. You think Fabian Gomez? He won at Southwind in 2015. Arrived at Kapalua, his first tournament of champions. Kind of was right up there with the pace the whole way through. That was the mind-blowing bit. Didn't putt. He putted absolutely terribly at Kapalua. Arrived here, I think he shot something like 71 in the first round. He was back in 67th, in danger of missing the cut for sure. Then he just found the putter and he just came through, caught up with my selection, Brandt Snedeker. I think he shot 8 under 62 in the final round. Caught my selection, Brandt Snedeker, beat me in the playoff. I was absolutely distraught as per ever. And he won 100 to 1. So you do get some strange results here. You also got Jimmy Walker, who a couple of years ago just missed out on winning the Tournament of Champions over on Kapalua. Missed out in a playoff, didn't he, to Patrick Reed, who I actually tipped that week. Arrived here, everyone kind of thought he was defending, bit iffy. Just strolled it, 18 to 1. So if you're playing well, you can get the job done around here. It's a pretty stock par 70. It's very, very easy. It always plays firm and fast, which is a lot of comments, and it does. There hasn't been a lot of rain in the build-up, unlike at Kapalua. This part of the world, it's a 45-minute flight from Maui across to here. It's been dry. So again, it's going to be firm and fast. Driving accuracy means nothing. It's all about huge numbers of greens in regulation. And if you're a Bermuda grass putter that can convert from 5 to 15 feet, you're truly in business. It's that simple. But because it's firm and it's fast, if you miss greens, you've got to be able to scramble and, of course, keep bogeys off the card. I reckon, looking at the wind forecast, very, very light, this could be a kind of 22 under kind of job. So, real resort level scoring required. Okay. Let's take you through the predictor model. Of course, all Sky Bet prices. Interesting field, it has to be said. Jordan, what am I doing? Chris Kirk, 50 to 1 at number 10. 9 is Hideki Matsuyama, 8 to 1. 7, Zach Johnson, 50 to 1. He's 8 actually. But 7 is Russell Henley, 40 to 1. 6 is Justin Thomas, 14 to 1. Top 5 is Russell Knox, 40 to 1. Jason Duffner's at 4, 50 to 1. Brandt Snedeker, 25 to 1 this year round. 2 of the 2-time winner here, Jimmy Walker at 22s, and you won't be surprised. Jordan Spieth, 13 to 2 on Jordan Spieth. So Spieth, Walker, Snedeker. Looking at the points on the predictor model, I think Jordan Spieth beat Jimmy Walker by something crazy like 488 points. He was totaling something like 1,500. So the predictor model saying he's a third better than anyone else in the field. Now, whether I believe that or not, I'm not so sure. But one thing with Jordan Spieth is for sure, he's hitting tons of greens at the moment, and that makes him a real danger. Just some silly, sloppy play really cost him. Big style last week. Lots of doubles. There was a triple in there. Of course, when he tightened up, the heat, the pressure was off. Played properly on the final round, shot something, what was it, 8 under, 65. So Jordan Spieth isn't a million miles away. But, 13 to 2, that's only a point longer than last week. A tournament he was defending in. He had a second and a first at Kapalua. He was 11 to 2 in a 32-man field. This week, they're giving you 13 to 2 in a 156-man field. Work that one through. If he wins, doesn't he? Now, DraftKings Gamers, of course, he looks a very interesting proposition, but he is the most expensive player. My tips themselves, I'm going for Jimmy Walker. I'm going 2 points each way at 22 to 1 with Stan James. 6 places each way, a genuine 6 places at quarterly odds. Paddy Power and Coral have also gone 7 places at 50 odds. It's interesting that Coral are now going head-to-head this week with Paddy Power, 7 places each way at the Sony Open. Walker, what can you say? Played really nicely last week. Lots of greens in regulation. Played with that shorter driver. Hit plenty of fairways, which makes him a real danger. Yeah, the putter didn't fire brilliantly. He was still in the top 5 or 6 for strokes gained putting mind. Loves this golf course. What more do you need to say? Russell Knox is next up for me. A point each way. 45 to 1 with Sky Bet. £10 no deposit offer available. Knox. I said he would struggle last week. Course was too long. This place is perfect for him. He still came 17th last week, hitting it close, putting really well. So I think Russell Knox is a big danger. A point each way, 45 to 1 with Sky Bet. Then I'm going another player that really you can just feel the momentum's building. Second last time out on the PGA Tour at Sea Island. Yeah, he missed one from 2 foot in the playoff. Back that up with third at the Franklin Templeton Shootout, where he partnered Charlie Hoffman in mid-December. Billy Horschel, I think he could go really well this week. A point each way at 50 to 1. He's making lots of putts, and we all know he's a ball striking talent. And finally, another player that loves this place. He has finished second and fifth in the past. Chris Kirk ended last year on fire. I just think a point each way at 50 to 1 with Coral is too big a price on Kirk. So Kirk, Horschel, Russell Knox, Jimmy Walker, they're my four to watch. Thanks and goodbye.